What makes a difference between a boy and a girl? Why do people's personalities differ? How come certain living situations affect the way that one presents his or herself? Yes, just like everyone else, I have questions. To find even more reasons for our differences, I decided to take a look at something I personally love and adore: cartoons. It's simple biology. As humans, we are affected by the way we are nurtured in our environment. Then it got me thinking, how do cartoons affect children and their future mentality? You're probably wondering, why cartoons? Due to the different situations in each respected household, children actually spend a good chunk of time in front of the screen. Their brain and synapses are constantly building multiple connections between millions of nerve and brain cells, just like wires in a house. The connections are made by the things that children experience. In this case, due to the massive amount of time that children spend watching the TV, it's clear that it does play a major factor on how the brain is formed. Being attracted to the visuals, scenarios, and colors of cartoons, the mind of children are programmed to follow and even imitate the characters displayed on screen. Young children get a sense of duty to be like or similar to the things that they see. Just like that, cartoons are perfectly engineered to gain children's interest in early stages of development. As much as I hate to say this myself, there are negative traits that can be developed from watching certain cartoons. Even the most common cartoons affect the children's behavior and mindset because of the content it contains. One of the main reasons for a disdain for cartoons among older generations is the violence. By this, I mean the idea that violence is funny. Some example of violence would be in shows such as Power Rangers, Tom and Jerry, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There are actually two cases of negative effect on behavior based on violent cartoons. First of all, we have desensitization, which means that the child loses logical thinking of the results of his actions. This means that the due for laughter, as indicated in the cartoon, and the link between the idea that hitting a friend will harm them is no longer there. In a similar manner, we have the possibility of fear and wavering. This is when the brain is no longer able to predict the correct outcome of an action. Will it be acceptable, or would it cause serious harm? Overall, research performed by Thomas A. Kugelman, Rochester Institute of Technology, concluded that the violence that appears excessively and with no reason in a TV cartoon show physically triggers excessive increase in adrenaline production, which causes an unstable state of mind. The violence on TV often results in children who grow up acting nervously and aggressively towards normal situations, such as not knowing when to let go and eventually crushing one's hand. As we continue with more negativity, we have the inappropriate amount of sexual content as well. As strange as it may seem, this appears in shows such as Pokemon and even Hercules. The damage behind such content is the possibility of a psychological case called novelty, in which dopamine, molecule of addiction, is triggered and continuously produced without limitations. This leads to brain dysfunction. It also prematurely introduces children to ideas that should be taught later on. Aside from predominantly male shows, beauty shows like Barbie can mentally harm young children as well. With great proportions and the perfect life, little children are programmed to believe that that's what they need to look like. Like so, generally young girls end up with eating disorders while attempting to look like Barbie. Then we have shows like Cinderella, which provides the restricted ideology that girls have to wait for a Prince Charming to be successful, and that all stepmothers are cruel. It gives them a false sense of hope only to get a possible anticlimactic ending once they step out of the train and in front of the doorstep. On a more positive note, since children take away from any show they watch, they can actually learn good things as well. By this I mean developing social skills, language skills, and maintaining health. Let's take a deeper look into each of these. Socially, shows like Go Diego Go gets children, well, going. It makes children want to explore and observe new things to learn from them. This gives them a broader image of the world that they live in. Seeing smart and geniuses like characters like Dexter gives children motivation to strive to be as intelligent as Dexter. Moving on to language skills, we have shows like Word World and Dora the Explorer. These educational shows not only help further strengthen the English language, but kids are able to learn new languages as well. Then there's health, a big winner for parents. Cartoons are often designed to make children laugh. Being able to grow up laughing allows for a healthier life because laughter is known to help blood regulation. We also have shows like Popeye, a character that gets stronger by eating spinach. This message pushes for the connection in their mind that if they eat their greens, they'll be strong too. Such as watching cartoons can actually go a long way. It adds to the randomization of unique traits that we all have. maybe it be positive or negative. Now that you know, maybe you can change the future of the young ones in your household with just a click of one button.